Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, Vincent Price, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, John Carradine. That's it. That's the promo. Tonight's movie, House of Long Shadows.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! All hope is lost. Yes, my friends. All hope is indeed lost. But a new day shall arise, right? And hope may spring eternal again, right? And maybe, just maybe, I'll have my dearest wish come true. Or not, whatever. Anyways, tonight we are going to review a movie that has probably the most epic cast of all of horrordom. And that movie is House of the Long Shadows. Yes, a movie that stars Vincent Price, Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, John Carradine, and also Denny Arnaz Jr. Anyway, so what is House of the Long Shadows about? Well, it is about an author who is meeting his publisher in Great Britain, and they are having some lunch, and the publisher is lamenting that authors today and books today are not as great as the old classics, and the author character just sort of poo-poos him and says, anyone could put out something like that. I could do it in like 24 hours. And he's like, and the producer, or the publisher's like, oh, whatever. And he's like, the author's like, no, man, I bet you $10,000. No, I bet you $20,000. I can do it. And of course, the publisher's like, okay, that's easy money. All right. And so the author goes, all I need is a secluded place that has some atmosphere. And the publisher just so happens to have a friend who is selling a abandoned mansion in Wales. And it's just the right place for this to happen. So the author goes to the mansion, the estate, and begins to start to write his great novel. But however, it appears that he is not so alone, because people keep showing up one by one. A mysterious and beautiful lady, caretakers that apparently no one knew about, and then a stranger who had some car trouble, and then the eldest son of the old lord of the house who just happened to be driving by to visit his old home. And then, of course, the man who is purchasing the property, wondering what's all the hullabaloo happening on his not quite what he's going to acquire. And, of course, then, random couple that are traveling and get caught in the rain. And so, of course, all of this is quite the bother for the author, but things aren't as they appear, and people aren't necessarily who they say they are. And so, all of a sudden, a mystery is brought to light. Apparently, the family of this home has a dark secret that may actually still be stalking the grounds, and it has murderous intentions. Will these hapless travelers end up victim to this family curse? Will the author be able to write his novel in peace? Will they all end up dead? Well, you'll have to watch to find out. So let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore, I am going to give this a 2 out of 5. It's not very violent. There is this nice face melt scene and some bloody axing going on, but honestly not too great. Kind of mild, but still a bit of blood there. And that face melt is pretty nasty. So 2 out of 5. Moving on to shock value. Shock value, there's a few jump scares in this movie, but really the shock is in the multiple twisty ending. Well, actually, there's multiple twists and reveals, and so I'm giving it a solid 3 out of 5. Moving on to plot, I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. It is an interesting tale, an interesting concept. Is I guess you would say a little slow moving at the start, kind of getting the pieces in play, but it is intriguing and it is fascinating, and it's a wonderful kind of mystery, intrigue, and it keeps you entertained and wanting to figure out what's going on. And of course, the author, even though he's a little arrogant, you kind of feel for him, and you kind of are like hoping that he gets his work done. So anyways, 4 out of 5. Moving on to acting, it's going to be a 4 out of 5. Look, just Vincent Price, spectacular. Christopher Lee, spectacular. Peter Cushing, awesome. John Carradine, great. Like the performances in this movie are really good. And, it's just, and the banter between Price and Cushing and Lee and all this, it's mesmerizing. You're just stuck and you're glued to the screen and you just want to see them. They chew up the scenery so well. So 4 out of 5. Moving on to Nudity, and that's a 0 out of 5. They actually had some opportunities, honestly, they did, but I guess it's just not the type of film for that, so whatever. 0 out of 5. Moving on to enjoyment factor, of course, this is going to be a 4 out of 5. I enjoy these actors. I grew up watching them. I continue to watch them to this day. God rest all of their souls. But it's such a wonderful film, and I guess I can understand if you're not fans of these guys. Which, if you're not, man, get on the fucking bus, man. It is a great bus. Honestly, don't sleep on these people. You need to check out Vincent Price. You need to check out Peter Cushing and check out Christopher Lee. And John Carradine is kind of this interesting B-movie guy too. And they all do well, and they're all quirky in their own way, and they bring something. They each bring something to the movie, and it's a feast for the eyes. It's wonderful to watch. It's fun. It's imaginative. It's classic in a way, and it's a movie that you can just pure entertainment and pure joy watching some of your favorite actors that don't always get an opportunity to act with each other. And I know that they're all really good friends, and that's really cool, and it shows through, especially toward the end. There's this thing between Price and Cushing. It was wonderful. It was great. 4 out of 5, and my overall impression is a 3.5 out of 5. Even if you're not a fan of these people, these actors, if you don't even know who they are, honestly, it's a good movie to start. It's I would say kind of like a nice gateway horror. I don't know if I can say family friendly, because that face melt is pretty gruesome, and the themes are a bit adult. But I mean, I think this is kind of a good gateway, entryway horror, because it's not too spectacularly bloody, not too spectacularly violent, and it has a great story, some interesting twists, good characters, and actors that are just awesome. They are awesome, and it's a shame that we haven't gotten more from this ensemble, but I mean, I can understand sometimes, it's like it's hard to have them because you want them all to have like all the screen time, and you have to kind of divide it up because it's just like maybe like there's a Ghostbusters, just have all of them as the Ghostbusters. The AI monstrosity could probably make that happen, and it would be a travesty, but also would be epically awesome. Anyways, whatever. 3.5 out of 5 overall impression, and that averages out to a 2.9 out of 5, which is solid for missing completely out on one of the bonus points and honestly not doing that great with the violence score. But there you go. The House of the Long Shadows. Just great. A magnificent movie. I love it. I highly recommend it. You can pick up a copy from my friends at Kino Lorber. And yeah, cool. Awesome, great. It's just there's something about like your favorite actors. Just you like one of the things is Samuel Jackson. Like he's one of my favorites. I enjoy him in like practically everything I see him in, and whenever I see him on screen, I'm just like, yes, oh, cool, it's great. Kind of the same thing with shit, now I'm not going to remember his name because I'm a freaking idiot. Gary Oldman, man. He is, like, spectacular. Anyway, so, there you have it. House of the Long Shadows. Have you seen it? Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to also rate, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and all that stuff. And thank you again for watching another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. We are almost done, my friends. We are almost done. We are just moving along this trip of horror, and it's been interesting. There's been a lot of variety in this one, and that's great. That's great. I love it, and hopefully someone's catches a thing that they want to see. Hey, you want to see this movie, man? You do. Anyway, so thank you, and bless, stay scary, all that stuff, and I will see you next time on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. And remember, kids. Sometimes it might be better to weather the storms of life and stay in the rain than to, seek shelter in the creepy old mansion in the dark of night. I'm just saying, I guess it can be kind of cold. You worry about hypothermia. You might worry about catching a cold. But you know what? It's probably a little bit better to just keep moving on instead of catching, an axe to the face or, blood or acid bath or poison punch. It's probably better. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's kind of a trade-off. I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah.